time travelers.
My trip to the year 3000 was quite a bit different than my trip to the year 8973.
People vanishing.
Oh my god!
Others appearing from nowhere, and even portal openings at most unexpected places. These are the most shocking time travel and teleportation videos you have ever seen before.
Here we go.
In Miami, a couple was parked in their car, relaxing on a warm evening. Out of nowhere, a glowing swirl of smoke and blue light formed just a few steps from them. The man quickly got out, drawn toward it, while the woman shouted for him to stay put. Ignoring her, he walked straight into the light. The glow swallowed him in seconds, then collapsed in on itself, gone without a trace. His partner sat frozen in shock, left alone in silence. Where he went remains a mystery no one can answer. Bedroom rift.
I have an online tone generator set to 528.
Stories of strange rifts have been around for decades, but one particular video still unsettles people. A man was relaxing on his bed, a lamp glowing beside him. Suddenly, the air above the lamp shimmered and tore open, revealing a bright greenish landscape glowing unnaturally.
Here we go.
The clip ended abruptly right as things escalated, leaving no answers behind. Online, many compared it to the legendary Montauk Project, a secret experiment rumored to bend time and space. If so, this video might be the closest glimpse we've ever had of those chilling experiments being real.
Here we go.
Sydney Portal. In Sydney, Australia, a pedestrian captured something you'd only expect to see in a sci-fi movie. While walking past a fenced wishing pond, he noticed a bluish glow swirling above the water.
It's a teleportation to get to other planets. Right here, right now in Sydney.
It wasn't just a reflection. This thing had depth, like an actual doorway to somewhere else. According to the man filming, he tested it by tossing a few coins inside. The coins never hit the water. Instead, they disappeared through the glow. He swore it was a live portal to another planet. Whether true or not, the clip left people stunned, wondering if dimensions sit closer than we think. Split-second rescue. A man distractedly walked into a busy road, unaware of the danger heading straight toward him. A car rushed forward, and in that instant, it seemed like nothing could stop what was about to happen. But right before it, another man dashed into frame, opened what looked like a glowing portal on the street, and pulled him through. In a blink, both men reappeared on the far side of the road. The video went viral, with many struggling to believe what they saw. Out of place.
Не подделка. Что это фото оригинально.
A photograph from 1941 Canada still stirs debate today. In a crowd full of men in classic suits and hats, one figure stood out oddly. He was wearing what looked like a hoodie, dark sunglasses, and even a printed t-shirt, things that did not match the era at all. To top it off, he was holding a small camera in his hands. When the image hit the internet in 2010, it blew up instantly. Some swore it was undeniable proof of time travel, while others argued his style could still have existed back then.
Фотография не подделка. Что это фото оригинально.
Adding more fuel, another clip from the 1930s showed a woman appearing to use what looked suspiciously like a cell phone. Coincidence? Or tiny glimpses that travelers from another time might really be slipping into our history? Comment below. John Titer story. Back in the early 2000s, forums began buzzing with a man claiming to be John Titer, a soldier from the year 2036 who had traveled back in time. At first, it sounded like another wild internet hoax, until people noticed how detailed his predictions were. Unlike vague fortune tellers, Titer spelled things out clearly. He said the 2004 elections would trigger a US civil war, the Olympics would be cancelled, and by 2015, a world conflict would engulf everyone. Of course, none of that happened in our timeline, but Titer's followers didn't just dismiss him. Instead, they claimed his predictions were true, but from a different reality than ours. According to them, he wasn't wrong, just visiting the wrong version of history, and his story still hasn't completely faded from online platforms. William Taylor's claim.
Sitting down with William Taylor, who claims to be a time traveler.
In 2018, a man named William Taylor came forward with a story that shook many. He said he had traveled to the year 8973, part of a classified British government project.
My trip to the year 3000 was quite a bit different than my trip to the year 8973.
Most people brushed it off until experts strapped him to a lie detector. Strangely enough, every word came back as true. Taylor described a world ruled by hybrid beings, half human, half machine, with oversized heads and wide eyes, living without aging.
I remember they had abnormally large heads and large eyes as well.
He also claimed to have seen the year 3000, where pollution and radiation had poisoned the air.
The sky was completely red. There was pollution everywhere.
His time machine, a small, lead-lined sphere.
I traveled in a spherical machine that is so small it only fits one single person.
He even insisted that by 2028, time travel would be openly available to the public.
There are plans on releasing time travel as a technology to the public in the year 2028.
Whether government secrets or wild imagination, his testimony still lingers online.
The Mandela effect is very real, and it's becoming more and more prevalent over the last recent years.
Vanishing Boy. A video recently surfaced online that quickly drew millions of views. It showed a young boy strolling casually down a quiet street, but just as he looked back over his shoulder, he suddenly disappeared. Gone in a quick burst of light. Folks debated endlessly. Was it a simple editing trick, a camera malfunction, or something far stranger? Some claimed he was a time traveler slipping through dimensions, while others imagined he was escaping from something we couldn't see. Whatever the case, the clip continues to stir arguments about whether we're really seeing reality or something beyond it. Invisible Traveler. During his night shift, a security guard spotted something odd on camera. A man suddenly materialized in the middle of a pathway, calmly continuing his walk as though he hadn't just appeared from nowhere. Time travel theories don't quite match what was seen, so people began leaning toward technology as the explanation. Could he have stepped out of some cloaked vehicle? Or was he wearing advanced camouflage that glitched off at the wrong moment? Many viewers firmly believe invisibility tech might already be among us. Man in traffic. One morning, a driver with a dash cam set out for work, filming as usual. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until a figure suddenly appeared in the middle of the busy road. The man wasn't there 1 second, and then out of nowhere, he was standing right in front of a moving pickup truck. Watching the footage back, it feels impossible to explain. The timing, the location, the way the figure materialized, it all made it look like he just spawned into traffic. When the clip spread online, people debated fiercely. It could be a paranormal activity, a camera glitch, or something even stranger happening right before our eyes. The double. Imagine you're hungry late at night, so you step into your kitchen for a quick snack, but instead of being alone, you end up staring at yourself. Not a mirror, not a sibling, but literally another version of you standing right there. That's what Hack and Nukes insists happened when he claims he stumbled through a portal. Knowing nobody would buy the story, he started filming. And here's where it gets really unsettling. Both versions of him had identical tattoos in the same places. Some thought it had to be a prank, others wondered if he had staged it. But many still ask, was this a rare glimpse into a parallel universe? Because if multiple realities exist, maybe he caught his own double in the act. Vanishing Delivery Man. A doorbell camera in Idaho caught something no one could explain. A delivery man showed up, dropped off a package, and then vanished. What made it even stranger was that right after disappearing, his phone slipped from his hand and dropped to the ground, left behind as if he'd been taken out of reality. There were no glowing portals, no flashy effects, nothing. Some viewers said it looked like he was erased from the scene itself. Others leaned toward eerie explanations, suggesting old rituals or black magic at play. After all, if teleportation was that easy, delivery work would have been the smoothest job on Earth. Erased in frame. In the middle of a casual walk in the park in Colorado, a man was being filmed by his colleague. At first, everything looked normal. The two were chatting and moving along. But then, in the blink of an eye, the man vanished. The footage gives the unsettling impression that he wasn't simply taken away or hidden by editing. Instead, it looked like he was removed, as if deleted from reality itself. Online viewers gave endless theories, but no solid explanation has ever settled the mystery. Tyson fight mystery. Mike Tyson's 1995 comeback fight was already unforgettable, but there's a detail hidden in the crowd that still leaves people scratching their heads. Amid the roaring fans, someone could be seen holding up what looked exactly like a smartphone, positioned as if he was recording the fight. Here's the problem. Smartphones with cameras didn't exist in 1995. Early mobile phones were bulky and lacked built-in video recording. Yet in the footage, the device looked eerily familiar to today's phones. Some viewers believe it was nothing more than an odd-looking camcorder, but others are convinced it's evidence of a time traveler sneaking into a historic moment just to watch Tyson's big return. Parking lot arrival. A nearly empty parking lot seemed uneventful until one van drove past the camera. The moment it cleared, a man appeared directly behind it. He wasn't there before, but now a man was strolling forward, as if he had always been there. The footage was checked over and over, but no visual tampering was found. The way he casually continued walking made it even stranger, like teleportation was part of his daily routine. If this was not an editing trick, then we may have just witnessed something far outside the normal rules of reality. Nepal street portal. While scanning through CCTV footage from a busy street in Nepal, a guard spotted something he could hardly believe. In just a blink, a strange opening appeared right in the middle of the road, and out stepped a small child. Within seconds, the opening vanished, leaving the street looking completely normal again. The appearance was so sudden that many think the kid may have unknowingly walked through a passage from one place to another, or possibly even slipped out of a different time altogether. Whatever the case, it didn't look ordinary at all. Glowing fists. This next footage didn't come from a random source. It was actually aired on China's national TV. A bystander had been casually recording when something bizarre unfolded. Out of thin air, a figure showed up with both fists glowing an intense blue light. Startled, the cameraman rushed to follow, hoping to capture better footage. But before he could close the distance, the glowing figure simply vanished. The clip left people debating whether this was real teleportation or if something else entirely had taken place. Vanishing woman. In Singapore, a parking lot security feed recorded an encounter that still confuses people today. A woman appeared near a car, standing as though she was about to ask the driver something. She then began to walk toward the door, but halfway across, her body slowly faded until nothing remained. The details caught on camera made her look like a living, breathing person, rather than an illusion. While some people believe it was paranormal, others argue she could have been a time traveler, with a malfunction in her device causing her to disappear mid-step. Tricycle rescue. One of the wildest teleportation clips ever recorded happened at a crossroad. A man pedaling a tricycle cart nearly collided head-on with a fast-moving truck. Right before the impact, something impossible happened. The cart was instantly relocated to safety, and a man with faintly glowing hands appeared nearby. Without reacting to the chaos, the stranger casually slid his hands into his pockets as if nothing extraordinary had just happened. To many viewers, this was no coincidence. It looked like a real-life intervention by someone with abilities far beyond normal. Bicycle mystery. In 2012, a random video from Russia surfaced online showing a man just strolling casually down the street. Everything looked normal, nothing strange at all, until suddenly an older man on a bicycle appeared right behind him. Reviewing the footage, it's clear he wasn't there before. Folks were left scratching their heads. Was this some bizarre camera glitch? Or did we just witness someone slipping in from another place entirely? What do you say? Comment below. Hooded figure. Traveling across time and space usually belongs in sci-fi, but this next video feels eerily close to it. A CCTV camera in someone's backyard recorded a hooded man wandering around in daylight. At first, he seemed lost, but then he reached out for something invisible in the air. Suddenly, a burst of blinding light erupted several times, bright enough to overwhelm the camera lens. And then, the man was gone, along with whatever device he had taken. The whole scene carried an unsettling resemblance to time travel experiments people usually only hear about in stories. Running vanish. Here's a clip that looks simple, but left many confused. A man is walking casually along a quiet street when out of nowhere he breaks into a sprint. Just as suddenly as he starts running, his body completely disappears into thin air. People who saw the video were divided. Some said it was proof of teleportation, while others suggested he was actually a time traveler who got caught on camera. A few even argued it was a drone recording a staged trick. But if it was fake, it was executed flawlessly. Roadside rescue. One of the most dramatic clips shows a blind woman crossing the street, pushing a baby stroller in front of her. She didn't realize a speeding vehicle was rushing toward her. By the time she sensed it, it was already too late. The car wasn't stopping. But in that exact second, a man appeared, moving with lightning speed. In a single motion, he pulled both her and the stroller safely to the side. The way he reacted had many comparing him to the DC superhero Flash. This might be just unbelievable timing, or could be something much more. Vanishing stranger. It began as a normal Ring camera recording, a man walking past a house early in the morning. Nothing unusual at first, until his legs began fading right before the camera. Within seconds, his whole body disappeared, leaving behind only a faint silhouette before vanishing completely. The homeowners initially brushed it off as a recording glitch, but when they asked their neighbors, no one recognized the man, and none of the other cameras in the area caught him either. That left one chilling possibility. Their camera had actually captured someone teleporting in real life. Hospital vanishings. Inside the clinical department of a hospital, a security camera captured something that left people speechless. At first, everything seemed calm. Then, in less than a blink, several people disappeared all at once. It looked as though someone moving at lightning speed had scooped them up in a split second. The rest of the staff froze in confusion before panic spread across the hall. Their reaction alone proves this wasn't just a recording error. Something real had just happened. Live TV disappearance. During a live TV broadcast at an airport, a reporter was interviewing a traveler while dozens of people moved around in the background. Among them, a woman stood casually near the baggage claim. But then it happened. As a luggage trolley passed in front of her, she was gone. No footsteps, no walking away, just gone. Viewers argued it must have been editing or a camera trick, but the station confirmed it was a continuous feed. That means whatever happened, it wasn't just TV, it was real. Russian road mystery. A dashboard camera in Russia on May 5th, 2012, captured one of the most bizarre clips to ever go viral. On a busy road, traffic moved smoothly until a man appeared directly in front of a speeding lorry. The driver swerved violently, barely avoiding it. The strange part is that the man wasn't just anyone. He wore a long white coat, almost like a lab coat, with heavy boots. He looked dazed, slowly stepping toward the roadside as if he had no idea where he was. Many believe this was an actual case of teleportation, and some even think it hinted at experiments far ahead of our time. Superhuman grocer. Not all security footage goes unnoticed, but this one didn't just turn heads. It shocked people. Inside a small shop, a thief stormed in, waving his arms aggressively and demanding cash from the shopkeeper. Everyone froze, fearing what might happen. But just then, a grocer from the corner leapt forward. The move was so fast it almost blurred on camera. He pushed the thief back with such force that it looked inhuman. No struggle, no resistance, just raw impact. Then just as quickly as the clip appeared online, it disappeared, raising suspicion that someone didn't want this evidence seen again. Basketball anomaly. Sports can get competitive, but what happened during this basketball game was strange. A TikToker filming the match caught the moment clearly. Just as one player was about to score, another figure from the opposing team suddenly appeared in midair, blocking the way. No one saw him approaching. No one noticed him on the court before that exact second. He simply appeared, almost as if he had teleported into the play. Luckily, the ball handler reacted fast and dodged, but the footage raised big questions. Was this just a trick of the camera, or was someone trying to cheat the game with a teleporting device? You decide. Alley time slip. A security camera in a quiet alley caught something that looked straight out of science fiction. A man casually walked through the solid walls of a closed mart, as if the bricks weren't even there. The strangest part was that the timestamp on the camera flickered, jumping from the year 2026 to 2019, as if time itself had rewound. Moments later, the man stepped back out, completely calm, while a nearby homeless man froze, unable to believe his eyes. For many, this was the clearest sign yet that time travel isn't just a story. It might actually be real. Sorcerer in alley. Not all strange sightings involve technology. Sometimes they feel like pure sorcery. In one clip from a restaurant CCTV camera facing an alley, a bizarre figure appeared in broad daylight. The being was extremely tall, dressed in heavy robes that looked ancient, almost like something from a dark fairy tale. In seconds, it walked straight into a fence and vanished. An elderly woman who had just passed by stopped in disbelief and even tried to follow. Judging from the way the figure disappeared, it wasn't teleportation or time travel. This looked more like sorcery at play. Street rescue. One of the most incredible clips comes from a simple street camera. A man was crossing the road when a car sped straight toward him. Just as it looked unavoidable, a sudden flash of light filled the frame. In the blink of an eye, the man was gone from the road and reappeared safely on the sidewalk. He hadn't run, hadn't jumped. He was just instantly relocated. Some online called it paranormal intervention, but others believe it was a time traveler who revealed himself for a moment. Either way, this footage shows something far beyond the ordinary. Fly humanoid. Inside a parking building, surveillance cameras picked up something no one was ready for. A man was returning to his car when, suddenly, alarms began blaring as vehicles went off one after another. The footage revealed why. A strange figure flew past at an incredible speed, almost too fast for the camera to follow. When slowed down, the shape looked humanoid, but not entirely. Almost like a human with wings, darting through the garage with super speed. Could this have been a real-life superhuman, or just a figure using some advanced teleportation suit? Skybeam vanish.
It's the doorbell camera video that's raising a lot of questions today. A man walks out of a house, and in an instant, it looks like he's beamed up to outer space.
In one of the strangest home security clips, a man was walking casually at night when, in a blink, he vanished, This wasn't a glitch. The footage clearly shows him beaming straight upward into the sky. The video looked untouched, and what's even stranger, no other neighborhood cameras captured where he went. No nearby residents reported anything unusual, and soon after, the original footage disappeared from the internet. To this day, people debate whether this was genuine teleportation or something far more mysterious. Whatever it wasn't just a simple camera error. Taylor's time twin. A vintage commercial from 1981 promoting Glamour Gals dolls has resurfaced, and people can't stop talking about it. One of the actresses looks almost identical to Taylor Swift. Same hairstyle, same smile, even the same presence. The issue was that Taylor wasn't born until 1989. Fans were quick to joke that their idol had cracked the code of time travel.
Taylor Swift is a time traveler?
But in reality, the actress was Toni Hudson, who later confirmed it herself.
Not Taylor Swift, it's me, Toni Hudson, right here, in the flesh. I did that commercial.
Still, the uncanny resemblance makes it feel like Taylor somehow stepped out of a time machine just to appear in that ad. Super strength secret. What started as a bad day for a young woman turned into an internet mystery. After dropping her key and failing to find it, she grew visibly frustrated. Then, in a moment caught on CCTV, she lifted a large object with one hand as though it weighed nothing. When the footage reached the internet, many called her a real-life superwoman, but others had wilder theories that she might be an alien or even a shapeshifter from another dimension who slipped into our world. Either way, her secret was exposed. Highway mystery. Highway surveillance cameras aren't meant to capture the impossible, but this one did. A driver reported seeing a car vanish right in front of him, so authorities pulled the footage. Clear as day, the video shows a vehicle traveling smoothly before suddenly disappearing in plain sight. No signs of braking, no lane change, no collision, just gone in an instant. Officials had no explanation, and yet the evidence was undeniable. To this day, what really happened on that stretch of road remains unsolved, leaving both witnesses and viewers unsettled. Dog on road. During a car race filmed on a motorway in Chile back in January 2015, something extraordinary occurred. As two vehicles sped down the road, a dog suddenly appeared on the asphalt, just moments after they had passed. The footage clearly shows the animal seemingly materializing out of thin air, as though it had been teleported or spawned. If the dog had arrived a second earlier, the outcome could have been disastrous. Where the animal came from is still unclear, but its sudden presence left many convinced it was no ordinary coincidence. Lights mystery. A late-night drive turned terrifying for a group of friends on a snowy highway. As they moved to overtake a slow truck, the lane ahead looked completely clear. But in a split second, blinding headlights appeared right in front of them. The driver reacted instantly, jerking the wheel and sending the car sliding into the roadside snow. Just seconds earlier, there hadn't been any vehicle in sight. Some claim the truck had been driving without headlights, while others believe the car simply appeared from nowhere. Either way, that near miss left everyone rattled. Russia's ghost car. Dashcam footage from a Russian intersection has fueled endless online debates. As traffic flows normally, a car seems to appear out of nowhere during a left turn. The driver behind the camera lets out a panicked shout, realizing what just unfolded. Thousands online called it the ghost car, pointing out how clean the video looks with no sign of editing. Was it a glitch in recording? A trick of the light? Or something stranger? The sudden arrival of that vehicle remains unsolved. Forest Gateway. While exploring the woods, a young boy stumbled upon something that shouldn't have been there. A mirror, standing upright in the middle of the forest. Curiosity got the better of him, and he reached out. To his shock, his hand slid straight through the surface as if it were liquid. Gathering courage, he stepped in, only to find himself in the same forest. But not quite. The trees, the path, even the air felt different. That mirror wasn't just glass, it was a doorway into another world. Maid of Bogota. Surveillance cameras in Bogota caught a woman who left residents speechless. She wore an old-fashioned maid's outfit, the kind seen more than 100 years ago, and walked in an unnatural, stuttering rhythm down a crowded street. Pedestrians glanced at her, but kept their distance. Moments later, as she reached the end of the block, she vanished, captured clearly by 2 separate cameras. Local news outlets brought in experts, even a priest, but no explanation fit. To this day, the footage remains one of the city's most unsettling mysteries. Invisible Walker. A motion-activated CCTV camera recorded a strange figure crossing its view. The silhouette wasn't ghostly or transparent, but it wasn't fully visible either. Its body seemed blurred, almost cloaked from sight. Unlike paranormal sightings, this figure appeared solid, yet concealed, as if using some advanced camouflage. People who examined the clip suggested the possibility of an invisibility device, perhaps triggered remotely. Others argue it could be light distortion or a camera malfunction. Whatever the case, the figure walked calmly past before fading into darkness, leaving behind an unsettling question. Was this a person or technology far ahead of our time? What do you think? Share in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.